What up, Jesse 50JP in the house? Yo. So that last week I got questioned by some detectives, right? Japanese detective about a certain subject. It's not my business to tell. It wasn't concerning me. And they came to my school and questioned me. And maybe a couple of days later, two other ones came, but they came with a translator this time. So they met me at Garden Parks, and we sat inside their cars, an unmarked police car, right? And in Japan, what's cool is when they, like in America, when the police investigate you or ask you questions and stuff, they'll do it in public, right in front of everybody and stuff like that. In Japan, they don't do it like that. They'll put you in the back of the car and they'll talk to you and stuff like that. Whenever they write anyone tickets or anything, they don't do it outside. They always do it inside their car and stuff like that. So I get inside the car and I'm thinking it's going to be a real quick conversation. And the guy that spoke English spoke pretty good. But he said he was just an interpreter, but I don't know. I'm figuring he was a police officer too. But anyway, they were asking me all these questions about this situation and stuff, So of course, I have to tell everything that I know. It sounds like a rap, but what it is about me is that ever since I grew up, especially when I was in Venice and stuff, I don't remember no one's names. Whatever names they tell me, that's it. I don't care about their real names or whatever, And I try not to remember anyone's last names just in case if the police do stop us. Because, if they stop you and they might be looking for a certain person and everyone else knows their nicknames and the nickname and the real name, you slip and say this person's real name and they get hauled off to jail and stuff, because back then there were no laws about you carrying your ID cards and stuff, and so you slip. So I didn't remember anyone's names and stuff like that, and so they asked me the name of this person, right? And so I'm like, the name he gave me is such and such and such, and they said, and they said, well, don't you know his real name? I said, well, the only reason I know it is because of the other cops that questioned me, showed me a copy of his passport, and they showed me his name. Otherwise, I wouldn't know his name. And they said, well, do you think it's kind of strange that he wouldn't tell you his real name and he just give you a nickname? And then I said, well, in Japan, a lot of people have their real names and they use nicknames. I said, my wife, she has a real name, but she used her nickname. Everyone does it in Japan, so why is it strange? You do it, you probably do it too, And then they started laughing and stuff, got them busting it, right? And then they were asking me, how I got involved with this person and everything. And it was a lot of questions that they were asking and stuff, and it was really weird. So then it got down to the serious part to where they asked me to sign a statement, right? So I'm thinking to myself, I can't sign a statement. They said, well, why not? I said, because you're writing in Japanese. I don't know what you're writing. And they were like, but, you'll just have to trust me, the interpreter says, And I don't know, because in America, and I told him straight up, I said, in America, the cops are so crooked out there, and you might write something and sign your name, and they'll probably erase it or something, and use a forger and write some other stuff, just so they can convict you and stuff. And I said, I know Japan, this is Japan, and, the police aren't supposed to do anything bad, but, I can't trust you. And I said, well, if you give me a copy of what he wrote in English, and you state that this is what he wrote in English, and both of you sign that statement, then will sign. So, because I had this paper to for my safety, because I don't want to get no one in trouble, because you guys are probably trying to convict somebody or whatever, what's going on. And they was like, okay, so the dude got out the car and called his boss. The boss said, no, they can't do it because it's official Japanese paper and stuff like that. And I said, well, I can't sign. And they said, well, why not? I said, because when I was in the military, and when you go to my friends and stuff that are lawyers and stuff like that, they always say whenever you go to another country, you don't, no. When I was young too, my friends whose parents are lawyers, they say you never, ever sign anything that you don't understand. If you don't understand it, you do not sign it, and all that. And I told them that, and I said, because this is a Japanese document and stuff like that, then if I do sign it and I get in trouble because you might change something, then I'll go to the consulate, and all the consulate going to say, well, why did you sign it? Do you understand what they wrote? I said, no. And they said, well, why did you sign it? They said, you do not sign anything that you understand. You don't understand Japanese, why would you sign it? You go get you a lawyer, you pay for you a lawyer, you pay for the lawyer to be there, you have all these documents and everything to be signed in front of a lawyer, and everything be legal, so you protect yourself. But if you sign it and they change, it's nothing they can do. I said, and I told him that, it's nothing that the council could do, so I can't sign it. So then he came back and said, okay, well, we got two choices. One choice is to write the statement and you sign it, or just write I'll just write a police report and I'll just sign it myself. And I said, well, and I didn't say that. He said, well, what should we do? And it's interesting because it goes back to the culture, the Japanese culture. They're still giving me a choice, what to do. And then I started laughing, and I said, and I wasn't laughing at him, but it was kind of funny, And I said, wait a minute, why are you going to ask me, what should you do? You already know your options. I told you I'm not going to sign it. And they already told me that they couldn't make me sign it, because they said other people didn't sign either. And I said, I told you I'm not going to sign it. So what other options do you have? I think you can make this decision by yourself, And then the interpreter, he started laughing because he understood what I was saying, because he went to school in Texas high school or something like that. So then I was like, he started laughing, and he interpreted what I said to the police officer. He started laughing too. So then he got out the car, and then it was weird. They both got into the car, right? And I always made sure the door was unlocked in case if they did something funny, I'd just fall out the car, right? And so they both kind of like got on their knees, like when if you're in a car and you're in the back of the car and somebody get ready to hit you, or the police get ready to hit you or something, how they get up on their seats and stuff. They got up like that, and the other guy turned around. When they started looking, I was thinking like, oh man, these guys are about to throw some punches or whatever, And so I was just, if they would have thrown, I would just, duck, and jumped out the car and stuff, and slammed the door, and stuff like that. And they just got in my car and called, because the police station right there and stuff, And then when they did, I was like, huh? But I don't know. Maybe they thought that by doing that, I would react or something like that. So I was thinking maybe that's what they were thinking, so they can get me or whatever, I don't know. It was just a weird situation because that was the second time it was like the third time I've ever been in the back of a police car, and maybe the fourth time, I don't know. And it was just weird. It was so weird, And then I asked him about this situation and why didn't this person do this, come call the consulate and all that, because it was strange to me, And it was funny. And then I asked them, I said, am I under some type of investigation, or have I committed a crime? And they said, no. I said, well, then why are you asking me all these questions and stuff because they already got this person in custody, right? That you got this person in custody and stuff. And they said, well, we just want to verify, where you been and this and all of that stuff. And I was like, wow. And then what made it so bad was I told them that where I met this guy, where me and him got in contact and stuff for the second time, and from there our our association started a little history. It was all by mistake. I told them I was just outside the club. I dropped somebody off at the club, and I was outside, and this person that I dropped off met this dude and told this dude, happened to mention my name, and the guy said, well, where am I? And then the dude said he was outside, and then he came outside, and then he needed help, and of course I'm nice, so I helped him out. And oh my God, it was a trip though. So when they finished, they said like, oh, we're sorry for keeping you so long, blah blah this, blah blah that. And so then, it was really interesting though. It was really an experience, and And then real quick, and then it was funny because I think it was that week before I was back of another police car. I'll tell you another story about that. That's different.